Content warning. The following show contains a host smokes like a dragon. Smoke. Oh, I've been available. They could totally hear me. Yeah, I muted myself to you. I didn't want you to hear me sing. Anyway, now let's let's get the let's yeah, like seriously, that was kind of funny. Thank you for taking initiative though. That was kind of cool. Yeah, let's start the show. Hey everybody, what is going on? How you doing? How you feeling? What is going on out there today? I am Solar Gray, the cinematic sorcerer, and if you're wondering, yeah, I'm a little punch drunk. I've been working 6 days in a row. But that's okay. That is neither here, there, nor anywhere in particular. Although, if you're in the Southern California area, you know where to find me. That's all I'm gonna say on that. And of course, welcome to the dark side of the room. This is the show where we talk about life. What do you know, Lisa? Do you know anything about life? The universe? You're tearing me apart, Lisa. And of course, we talk about games and hobbies, being a nerd, and all of those things that being a nerd actually implies because we like things and all of that jazz. But guess what? I am not alone. Nope, I'm not alone today. You know why I'm not alone? Because I got you. That's right, I got you. You. No, not you. You're always here. No. No, you. Yeah, you. Right there. Hey, how's it going? Welcome, and I'm glad that you decided to show up today. So, along with me here today, I've also got someone else. You guys know her. You know, she's pretty cool, kind of chilled out and all that stuff. Matter of fact, you might be able to even call her Mellow. You guys know her from the show and from various other places like Black and White Now in Color, Gaming Fix, and all of those other things. Say hello to Mrs. Johnson, or should I say Ms.
Really excited about today's show for a lot of different reasons. We're talking about different things like why is it important to like what you like and not be called out for it. Also, I'm definitely interested in talking about my experience at AfroCon, but we're going to get into that.
Yeah, we are gonna get into that. And you know what? I totally realized that when I turned everything on, right? I totally turned everything on, and the audience and you could see me doing all this funny dancing, but they couldn't hear the music. I guess I'm just
You've
so.
done that like 3 times now. I'm telling you, man, I don't hear nothing when you're doing your dancing. And I'm
Well,
like,
I know you don't hear it, but it's on the Twitch thing and all that jazz. But yeah, I'm just sitting up and I'm like, yeah, all right. Yeah, that's it. We got this going. And what do they hear? Crickets, crickets. Why is this crazy man flailing around like that? It's kind of like the difference between like listening to a mixtape from somebody in the 8th grade that isn't at a music school and actually listening to like a mixtape of musicians. Cause it's like, is that dancing? I don't know. It just seems more like movement than dancing. I don't know what that is, and all that stuff. But that's okay. That's okay.
I know
And
at
what?
Burning Man, you would be considered an art piece. Yeah. I've never been, but I know you would.
Well, I've been over 14 times, and at Burning Man, I am considered an art piece because there may be about 14 black people on the playa, and we just pretend that we are an art display. So, you know, I mean, really, that is just what we do. So,
So do you guys have like your own little black con going on over there as well at Burning Man, or is it just like we're scattered out?
dude, that
Let's
thing
let's
in the
share.
desert is in Nevada. If that many black people got together and did something cool, then they'd burn it down and put a lake in it. You know, that's just what they. Come on, this is history we're talking about. However, there is a black dude that runs a camp that is a full-fledged roller rink that plays disco and funk, and it is so freaking refreshing. Because last time I went to Burning Man, it was like 9 years ago now, and everywhere you went was dubstep. It was just like, while a whole
Man,
bunch
that
of,
sounds so fun.
yeah, you know,
Oh.
you say that, but then you get, I got tired of a bunch of really high yuppies thinking that they're spiritually enlightened me, telling me to wait for the drop, and then, the
Wait
drop would
for the
happen.
drop.
Yeah, I'm walking around. And it's like, oh, if you like that, dude, wait for the drop. And I'm just like, dude, oh, stop it. Just, oh, God. Can I get some metal somewhere? Just some. Is anyone playing Tool? You guys talk about spiritual enlightenment. Let's talk about spiraling out on the edge of consciousness, touching our own divinity, and touching our
You want
own.
to do that? Listen to
Yeah.
some Pink Floyd, man.
Oh, again, yeah, all the same. I'm just like, dude, I want to spiral out and touch the nature of our divinity while still staying human. Oh, wait, you're not an occultist. You're just a high yuppie who thinks they're at Woodstock. But anyway, um, I'm not going, whoa, what is this? How does he flatten the surface for skating? Oh, no, he builds the rink. And Burning Man is pretty much flat anyway. It's in a lake bed. So, but yeah, so I want to say hey, hello, and all that stuff. Hey, what's going on, Panda? And before we get through this, okay, before we get all through this, if you like the conversation that we're having, I know some of you guys might be thinking, maybe he should only do like maybe 1 or 2 shows a week because he is so high energy. And this isn't high energy. This is punch drunk. But if you guys want to know a little bit more about that, all you got to do is pull up your keyboard and reach out to me via backinthedeck@gmail.com. It's BACKINTHEDECK at gmail.com, along with Twitter at backinthedeck. Now, if you are in your 30s and early 40s, you can reach out on Instagram, also at Back in the Deck. And if you one of them young people who still have good back and good knees and still have passion about what the world could be, you can reach out to us at BidPy. That's BIDPY on TikTok. And if you're my age and go, oh my God, all these different social media applications, they scare me and they're all different and I don't get it around. I tried doing something, the next thing I know, somebody's showing me stuff in a $20 bill and asking if I want to buy some colloidal silver and a vitamin supplement. Facebook, you can sign up to Deckers on the Book. It is our public site and all that stuff. And of course, Neon Arlecchino is on top of it today. I love when you're on top of stuff like this, man, because I don't like putting you under your bridge, but he is there with the invitation to the Discord. So reach out to us on that. I'm putting the donations and all that stuff in the chat right now. If you find value in what we do and you want to say, leave us a tip, maybe, leaving us a tip would be kind of cool. And you can do that with the donations tab. You can also, if you are rolling, yeah, with all of your cash, you can sign up for our Patreon for as little as $1 a month. All of this stuff really, really, really helps keep the lights on, okay? And I need to leave the lights on so I can see my black cat changing colors. But it's not the colors that matter, it's that they all fade away. And of course, hang on. And of course, you can also...
You went to TikTok and were there for 3 hours? What were you doing, black and white, now in color?
What? Yeah. They got caught down the tickety-tockety hole,
Oh, the clickbait, huh?
Dude,
Clickbait?
I don't know what. No. TikTok isn't clickbait. It's something far more sinister. Because you go on there and someone's like, hey, dude, check out this video. And they'll show you a video like an awesome freaking black woman saying, everyone's so creative. And she'll be talking about a cooking video that's on TikTok or Instagram and just ripping it apart. And you're just laughing, because she's like, yeah, no, that's cool. Yeah, go ahead. Waste all that ground beef. And, oh, what's this? They're putting a whole block of cheese in the ground beef because it don't go down easy if it ain't cheesy. And then you look up and it's 4 a.m. And you're like, where are my kids? Seriously, it is terrible. Like seriously, man, it is sinister. It is so terrible. Oh, what's going on, Anonymous Daniel? Are you traveling tonight on a plane? I can see red tail light heading for Spain. Oh, but yeah, I mean, seriously, TikTok it's the devil's app. It really is. Because I put stuff up on the TikTok when I'm about to do the shows or when I have something funny to say, which is not very often. And next thing I know, I sat down and I've lost 15 pounds because I haven't eaten for 3 days and my kidneys are about to cease. And I'm just going, this is fun. Oh, I did travel across the country. Oh, well, good to see you, man. Yeah, seriously. No, sir, I did not travel across the country. I did travel across the country a few weeks back. All right. You know why? Because I can see Daniel waving goodbye. Anyway, I like singing about people's names because there's like 45 different songs with women's names, but there aren't very many songs with men's names in it. And I call that toxic masculinity. No,
So now I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Did TikTok replace Vine?
It didn't just replace Vine. It looked at the withered, shriveled up corpse of Vine and said, hold my beer. I'm gonna show you what this is like, and I'm gonna just make sure you're turning. Because
turning in his grave.
Bruh, Vine was like 5-10 seconds or something like that. TikTok is like 3 minutes. 3 minutes of essentially, TikTok is responsible for what Instagram is doing now. Because Instagram used to be, look at my picture. Look at my 8 pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I'm white, middle class, and I go to really, really, really pretty places, kind of thing. And but yeah, you're right, Panda. The memes on Vine, they were out there, but they didn't have much of a choice. The memes out there were just like, yeah, exactly. The short attention span wars. You nailed it. You named it, Anomalous. Yeah, because seriously, man. But you get on TikTok, and like I have come to love a whole bunch of people down on TikTok, and it transfers over to YouTube Shorts and Instagram Reels. There's a great lady on there that's about 5 to 7 years my senior, talking about, dude, we're Generation X. Everything that you're going through, we don't care. Our parents, they wanted to have us, but they didn't want us around. So yeah, we've been out there raising ourselves, raising our kids, raising ourselves, raising our siblings. We drank from the water hose because we weren't allowed to go inside. If we went inside, we were hit with things like irons. And you know what? Because we made it through that, we can take on just about anything. So this is why when you guys are freaking out about being overwhelmed, we don't pay much attention to you because we know what you're capable of. We're not better than you. You guys are just as good as us. You just don't realize it. Anyway, now I'm going to go and sit in front of the heater because I'm going through menopause and I don't care what you think about it. And I'm like, oh my God, I have to drink everything with this woman. Yeah.
My mom, she was telling me about how when she was little, her first actual toy or anything considered fun to play with were bugs. And we had a snail on our door yesterday who decided, I'm just going to chill out here, because I'm trying to get away from the rain and all that. Oh no, my mom was not having that. As much as she played bugs, she said, no, get the salt.
I can see it because your mom's a black woman that's a little older than me. So it really sitting up going, wait, is there a snail out there? Oh, no. I paid too much for this house. You You either doing the dishes or you getting out of here, snail. I got some salt. Make your choice. I can see that.
Needless to say, I was the one who had to employ the salt onto the snail, and it had a really interesting reaction. And I've never seen what happens to snails when you put salt on them.
Of course, you're a millennial.
Yeah, because I don't play with bugs. Why would I play with bugs? My mom got me toys like My Little Pony, Barbie. Anyway, the point is, I got the snail off the door after pouring the salt on it, and it fell off of the door and started bubbling. The snail started bubbling, and I'm like, what the fuck? Oh my God, I'm getting this out of here. I don't want any part of this anymore. So my mom swept it off into the rocks, and we were good.
Bro, I will tell you flat out, being a millennial, you guys missed out on something really awesome. There's a reason most Generation X kids thought about or pursued STEM degrees, because we had real science. We learned about momentum by being
I believe you.
Yeah, I mean, we learned about momentum and inertia by being in the back of the car with no seat belts, sometimes no seats, and instead, seriously, and mom and dad would be like, you know what, I'm gonna turn this car around, or once they realized that they were funny when it comes to the backhand, the one I'm talking about.
Yep.
And then they're like, wait, it's the 70s and 80s. I don't have to freaking hit my kid. Kid, y'all better stop. He hit me. She's touching me. She did all that. Hard break. Kids would go flying, and it's like, yeah, Newton's third law. What, kids? That's really how it goes. But I'm gonna show you something, because this is my chance to be like, now listen here, young blood. See this? This right here? Okay. This.
Don't tell me that's a whipping stick.
Oh, no. This is the first toy of every second grader who was born between 1975 and 1978. See, we would find these all over the place. Stir sticks, popsicle sticks. And again, science! There's a reason that Doc Brown was the way he was. Because let me show you every Generation Xer's first game. Hey, bro. Yeah, check it out.
Trying to start fires?
It's hot. Hang on. Let me try. Whoa, this thing is really, really hot. That's really what it is. This was before them video games. This was before ColecoVision, before them PlayStations, before we had a stick, friction, and curiosity.
Back in my day, we didn't have no video games. We just had bugs.
Yeah, you know what? I can talk about this stuff because Generation X did the least amount of damage to the world of the past few generations. Okay?
You know why that is, Solar?
Huh?
You know why that is?
Yeah,
it's
because our parents wouldn't
freaking
freaking
die.
die.
Too stingy.
Exactly,
were way too stingy.
Yeah, there's a Stephen Lynch song called Grandfather, and it's essentially, grandfather, die. I need your inheritance so I can buy a house and I got bills to pay. Yeah, oh my God, they're going off in the chat. Like, yeah, rubbing on jeans. Oh my God, riding in the back of the truck. And we would load a broken pencil and a rubber band and shot it at people. Yes.
Yep.
Yes, we did that.
Yep. Uh-huh. That was a real form of entertainment, not just for your generation, Solar, but for our generation too.
Good.
Millennials.
I'm glad that.
I remember.
I'm glad projectile weapon violence did get passed on to the generations succeeding mine.
Hey, it'll come in handy someday. It will. Trust me. The aliens are gonna attack, and we're gonna be like, "Where are the rubber bands?"
Oh, bro, yeah. I mean, seriously, we had the pencils and the rubber band. Although, for the real bad ones, like in my neck of the woods, because I grew up in South Central, so we all had guns of some sort or another. We had people that would carve out gun stocks and put a clothesline or a clothespin, one of the clothespins on them, and they would tie rubber bands to can caps. And they were literally just shooting crossbow bolts. I'm like, What is going on? Oh my God, we did that. And again, this is our child. So yeah, this whole thing, when I hear people overwhelmed so easily, I'm like, no, you're stronger than that. I promise you. Okay, I promise. Because every time I ran home crying, I fell out of the tree. All the adults would be like, if you're well enough to run home and cry, you're well enough to stay outside and keep playing. You ain't hurt. That's fine. And I'm fine. Okay? I'm fine. Perfectly okay.
I got a little dirt on you. You're fine.
Yeah. I don't have issues of abandonment, and I don't have problems asking for help. Okay, I'm fine. I'm not bleeding. I can do this.
I got dirt in my eyes. You're fine. I got dirt in my mouth. You're fine.
Dirt in your mouth, break your leg.
Butt.
Yeah, it's like, did dirt in your mouth break your leg, boy? Oh, no, it didn't. Then shut up. You're all right. Well, I'm not all right. It hurts really bad. So will life. You want to talk about hurting real bad, boy? I got to get up every day and I have to go off to this job where I'm moving big rocks from one place to another. My back has been screaming at me since before you were born. That's pain. Now go outside and play. Stop crying. And
I'm gonna give you something to cry about it. You keep on.
Exactly. I was just about to bring that up. The mating call of the toxic parents. I'll give you something to cry about. Oh, I cannot tell you.
You better stop that crying, or I'm gonna give you something to cry about.
Yeah, and I can't tell you how many times my lip got busted by my mom because I was that kid. I was that kid where it was like, shut up, boy, I'll give you something to cry about. If I didn't have nothing to cry about, I wouldn't be crying. And
parents just don't understand. They think this shit's funny. You think this is like all laughs and giggles? No, it's not.
Well, see, it is funny because at that point, I realized something when I became a young adult. Okay? And the thing that I realized when I became a young adult is, now, those of you guys who don't know, I took a bullet when I was like 11. It sucked. Okay, but it was the gang wars. That's one of those things. But I learned something, which was after I got grazed with a 22 from an Uzi, and had to catch the bus to go get my stitches and all that stuff because the bullet didn't do all that stuff. Mom had a rule. Whatever you were doing, hey, what's going on, Toasties? Oh my God, thank you so much, bruh. Thank you. I thought you'd forgotten about us out there. Yeah, we're just talking about growing up as millennials and a Generation X because there's two of us out here. Say hey to Double Toasted. These guys are my mentors.
Hey, hello.
Yeah, so, but yeah, my mom had a rule is whatever you were doing that required you to go to the hospital, you have to do to get to the hospital. That was the rule. Now, my brothers had to get a bunch of shots because they were out catching the bus and trying to get girls and all that stuff. But for me, again, if you caught the bus to get injured, you got to catch the bus to get fixed. Okay? So I was outside playing in the park across the street from my house. A drive-by happened. I got winged, and I'm like, well, now for context, my mom worked at the hospital and she worked graveyard shift. So I had to stay outside that place where people don't want to go because there might be melanoma and other people, you youngsters. But I had to stay outside because my mom slept during the day and left for work at 11 o'clock at night. Okay, that's the real talk. So if I woke her up, this same woman who I talked about when I talked about Christmas, who picked me up by my ankles to make sure that I couldn't get away and was like, boy, didn't I tell you? And that's why I have such a good vocabulary, because she beat every word into myself. You're laughing. Yeah,
no, because I know that story all too well.
Oh, yeah. It's...
tell you not to go down the street. Dang. She had to wipe the sweat off her forehead and get back to it. I told you never go down the street.
Yeah, I mean, seriously. It's really how rural people, because this ain't just a black thing. If y'all out there in the country, we're talking
Out in the
Omaha, anywhere that's rural, y'all got taught English the same way, because the slap pushes the word in. And you grew up, and of course you grew up thinking that you were a holy figure. I know I did. I had no idea that my name was Solar, because my mom would always be like, Jesus Christ, get over here. And I'm like, what, huh? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you were talking about me.
Bill Cosby has that in one.
Yeah,
Cosby had that in one of his.
Yeah, Jesus Christ and God dog it. So yeah, that really is. It's like, no. That's sick. I thought you were sick. No, I'm tired. Okay, that's sick and tired. All right, that's cool. But yeah, so that's So yeah, I mean that really was a thing. But yeah, so scraping popsicle sticks on the cement and putting them against our face, noticing that friction existed, learning the laws of thermodynamics and inertia by being in various vehicles, be it back of pickup trucks, something that youngsters don't know about today because they're non-existent. The station wagon, which had a front seat, a back seat, and this whole area where you would shove all of your friends and cover them with a blanket when you were going into the drive-in movie theater.
So that's what that was for.
Neon Arlequinos says,
no, officer, I don't have any other children in the back of my truck.
And
what are you
cops
talking
didn't
about?
Care. The cops would look down and be like, hey, are they bleeding? Yeah, all right, cool, I don't have to. And it's like, officer, my mom spanked me with a belt. Are you bleeding? Yeah, you all right. You probably deserved it too.
Oh man.
So yeah.
Man. Let a kid call CPS for getting the whooping. They'll be like, you deserve that.
Now that was back then. Now
Back
CPS
then.
gets called if the kid is late to school more than 3 times in a semester. I'm not joking.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Well, it's the world changes all the time. Okay, that's the big thing. But yeah, so back then, I'm not gonna say it was better.
CPS when I was missing school. Then I'm wondering where was CPS when I was missing school and being late and catching the late buses and all that stuff. Because
seriously,
I remember CPS once.
Yeah, no, these policies didn't come in until my kid was maybe in the 5th grade, 5th or 6th grade. So that's a thing. That's a thing. So times are different. But speaking of times and different, and just kicking back and talking about childhood and hanging out and being like coming from the same spots, we did a thing this weekend, and this weekend we did a really, really cool thing. We ended up going to to a great place in Menifee, California. All right. Yeah, the 1900s were different, but the 1990s were very different from the 1900s, Prism Effect. But we went down to Ready Set Game in Menifee, California, as an event that we planned with our good friends, Afrocon Capes and Curls out of Omaha, Nebraska. And we had a fantastic game day. We had been setting this up, and as you guys know, here at Back in the Deck, I kind of have a gamer's green book. If you guys don't historically know what a green book is, look it up. But I put one together or I'm putting one together because it's ever evolving, and it's out there for gamers that are, people of color, LGBTQ+, the differently abled, the neurodivergent, just, people that aren't the standard gamer who had hard times going into comic stores and game stores and stuff. So we put together this event down in Menifee, California, which I'm not gonna lie, bro, it really was really harrowing for me, because even getting there, we were passing by American flags with Trump flags right underneath it, And we're talking Riverside County, California, which isn't quite known to be friendly to people that aren't middle class, white, and male. But we get
Yeah,
there.
it was a little traumatizing, just a
Yeah,
little bit, you know.
yeah. So but as we're going through, and I'm like, wow, this is a small town. But we get there and we walk into this gaming store, and this gaming store has diverse ownership. And what I like to say is there is kind of a religious bent to this town, but it's not as religious as it is principled, which is odd. Or it's odd for me to see because I see the principles. And there are people in there from all walks of life playing games. There's a D&D game happening in the back that had a pretty diverse table. The owners are an interracial couple that teaches kids gaming and jujitsu via the church. And I'm like, oh my God, this place is like an oasis in an otherwise place that I would not really go very often. So I was really happy about that. This week I'll be posting the interview with the owners on the YouTube channel. For those of you guys watching on the YouTube channel, it'll be coming up sometime this week as soon as I finish editing and doing the sound design, because oh my God, did I have the mics up too high. And of course I've got to work on the lighting and all that stuff. But yeah, that area is California's red counties, and it was very red.
Counties.
And fortunately,
when
I was heading down there with AfroCon's Capes and Curls, I'm like, okay, one, I need some deckers to go with me to represent, but it's Saturday and it is super far away. So I reached out to a couple of people, and they're like, sorry man, I'm booked because Ren Fair season is starting out here, so are getting their costumes and stuff together. And I'm like, I am stupid. Why am I not calling my co-host? And I called my co-host, and I'm like, what you doing? All right, you're coming with me. This is not a request. And then I realized that I'm not a Disney character.
Yes, he commandeered me. He commandeered me for the day.
Yeah.
You commandeered me.
Yeah, I would say more press ganging, actually. Yes.
Hey, you know what? I'm not mad.
Yeah. And we finally get out to this place through hook and crook and through all these canyons and stuff. And we get to the place, and I'm like, okay, yeah, this place looks pretty cool. And we meet up with Jade Rogers from AfroCon Capes and Curls. And she's there with her friends, and I walk into a room full of middle-aged black women wanting to play board games, and I'm like, I pulled the right person. So let me know, hook me up, because one of the reasons I reached out to you is you and I have a very similar problem, which is sort of a feeling of disconnect from our culture as a whole because of the fish bubble that Southern California tends to be. So with that being the case, when we walked in and you saw Valerie and Jade and later on Naya coming in, what were your feelings on that? What was your thought?
My feelings were, this is great because I'm getting to be at a table of all black women, and it's not like they're young black women. They're women who have had some seen some days. And
we call it mileage.
Mileage. So it was interesting because I hadn't gotten to do that before, and it's very rare for that to happen. So I was just like, yes, my peers. And I've said, so like, you are my black godfather in the gaming world. So, it was just like, yeah, thank you so much. I'm so grateful. Wow. When can we do this again? Oh my God, I'm so excited.
You never come to me as a friend, but I can't remember the last time you brought me over to have a cup of coffee. If you did that, you would have all these games, and your gaming friends will be my gaming friends. They will fear you. No, I'm kidding.
Hey, that was a good Godfather impression, man.
Thank you. It's the one movie that I've seen almost as often as I've seen The Exorcist. So.
Wow.
Anyway, continue. Yeah, keep going.
Yeah, so the first game we played was Settlers of Catan, which I had played once before, but I wasn't really understanding the mechanics of the game at the time. So this time around, it was like, oh, that's what happens. Oh, okay. Oh, and it was explained in such a way that it was like easy to grasp, no matter how many times or no times you've been playing. So, um, I didn't win. Valerie did, but hey, that's the way it goes sometimes. But man, the banter that was going on around the table was just off the chain. I'm like,
You know, I'm not
anytime.
gonna lie, I had that moment where I'm setting up the camera to do interviews on people, and I hear the thing that I know that lets me know, okay, I have brought all the aunties to the table. Like I'm because I'm just sitting up, blah blah blah, and I hear, and the two words I listen for whenever I hear middle-aged black woman in one place, are the words GIIIEERLLL and
Girl,
exactly.
is that what you talk about, girl?
Girl. And of course, the word that came out, okay. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh man, here it comes. And I did
And
manage
a
to
lot
get.
of
I had one of those lodged at me, and I'm like, whoa, hey, watch that. I'm just making a joke here. You know.
oh my gosh. Oh my god. He's not lying though. He's telling the truth. Well, all the whole truth and nothing but the truth. It was good though. I mean, it was like I had seen extended family who I never met in my life before, but man, the jokes were on. I was just like, there was a point where we were trading and whatnot, and of course, somebody's not gonna have something at your table. But Rogers was like, "I got nothing but love for you, baby," and I did it right back to her when she was like looking for something too to trade. I was just like, "I got nothing but love for you, baby," and everybody cracked up. Oh my gosh, it was hilarious.
Yeah.
But little moments like that just create for a great bonding experience. So I hope I made a good impression on those women and they keep me in mind because I definitely would love to play with them again.
They kept talking to you by the end of the night. I think you're okay. We got
Okay.
we got Prism Effect saying I'm already heated. Ethnicity does not matter to me. Prejudice has no place in this world. Where you were born or what our ancestors did does not define me. We're both on Earth. That literally is all that matters. But some choose to separate and control us. You're absolutely right, man. And that's what this channel is for. In truth, here back in the deck, we're all about celebrating those things, family history and things like that. I'm glad. I'm glad that you look at things saying that ethnicity doesn't matter, but it should. It shouldn't matter negatively. It really is something to be like, okay, this is cool, because part of the American experiment, part of the American greatness, was building up something where we could all learn from each other, from wherever we came from. Like at the end, we really believe that everybody is American at the end of the day, but American is a lot like white light, okay? It is the culmination of all other spectrums of light, all other cultures and ethnicities and stuff. And to trade these cultural things are fantastic. I do agree with you that some people do choose to separate us and control us, and that does and has had an observable effect on a lot of people and a lot of different subgroups, and that's just a thing. And part of our mission here is to heal from that. So I mean, that is a really big thing. So I wanted to explain this to you because it starts off with I'm already heated, and I wanted to make sure that wanted to let you know, bro, no, it's cool, you're welcome. And this is not a channel of hate. Believe it or not, this is a channel of freaking loving everything. Because I can tell you, I've been to Europe. I've been to 6 different European countries with all of their differences in traditions and food and history and culture. Like, it's all good. So yeah, I mean, that's a thing. But a lot of people that are here come here because a lot of places, and you know how this goes, and you've seen it because you live around the United States. A lot of us gamers aren't welcomed in certain places because of how we look or where our ancestors come from or how little money we make. A good amount of times we're priced out of hobbies.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this thing that's been happening where if you're not already part of a group, then you're not welcome to join it. You see what I mean? So yeah.
Oh yeah, I've had that happen to me before. There
Mhm.
was someone who was running a D&D game, 5th edition, and I wanted to join, but they had players already around the table too, and it was at a Starbucks, so perfect outdoor setting. There wasn't any reason why I couldn't have joined at that time. They probably just were a little afraid of me because stranger danger, and I'm like hyped up about wanting to play this D&D game, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we'll play with you sometime," and never heard from them again. So I just chalked it up to being like they just didn't want a newcomer at the table. Maybe they were so high level that they couldn't bring a newcomer into the table, or maybe they were just racist. I don't know.
Yeah, it could have been a lot of different things. I tend to use the term prejudicial. Coming to conclusions about people before knowing them, or to prejudge. And everyone does that. Everyone does that. And, again, we're all about recognizing that we prejudge and then taking a moment back to say, okay, now let's think about that judgment. It happened. Now what? What are we going to do in the face of the judgments that we put down on people? So yeah, I'm really big on that. So yeah, that's kind of a thing. But I wanted to address that because Prism Effect, I didn't want you feeling uncomfortable, bro. I definitely get it. It is very rare to get a bunch of black people together to play games other than Uno, because for decades we were kind of kept out of the hobby. In fact, it's one of the reasons that I started this channel, was because I was so not welcomed in a lot of different places, and I was noticing that with Uno flip. So yeah, and I was noticing that happening to a lot of my female friends, a lot of when I worked at game stores and comic book stores and watched how differently, and by different I mean poorly, people were treated if they weren't if they didn't look like they belonged in the area these stores were in. You know what I'm talking about. So and so it's like, dude, we're here too. And because of that, it was very hard for there was a thing that came
anyone
out.
of color.
Well, it's not just
But
that.
yeah.
It's not just that. Like, the color thing is an easy reference, okay? But I don't want to stick it down on color because, there's the women and there's the LGBTQ plus community. Omar. Okay, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh, you've definitely gone through some stuff. And again, I'm glad you're here. Because yeah, religious differences or cultural, ethnic, and all those differences, yeah, that puts up barriers. And here, there are no barriers. Well, okay, there are barriers when it comes to hurting other people. So yeah, no, again,
But welcome.
you brought up a concern, and I want to address that concern because that is why I am here. That's the big thing. That is the whole thing. But yeah, I can definitely imagine just I have a good amount of friends from various places in India that tell me what it's like there, between the Burmas and the Brahmas and the different divisions there. And there are so many things that divide us in human society. Doesn't matter what country we're from, but we're here because we're nerds, and gaming and comics and all of that jazz bring us together, and we can share our experiences. So yeah, I'm really glad that you're here and you can talk about it. And if any of you guys are watching and want to make comments like that, I will address it. It's cool, because again, I want to make sure that everybody knows that I see you, I appreciate you, and I'm glad that you're here. Yeah, right. It's okay. You ought to hear what people do the first time they see me after talking to me on the phone, bro. It's real. It's real.
Do you use your white voice, Solar?
No, I only have a white voice. My black voice sounds like an
So,
Eddie Murphy impression of a black man. That's just what it is. I'm just
well,
sitting up. No, man.
I have a
Yeah.
white voice.
Huh?
I have what white people, most people would call a white girl voice. Or like, I talk like a white girl. So that's what I've been told. So, I don't know what that means.
It's a
Is it
very
that I'm
insulting thing.
articulate?
It
is.
It's a very insulting. But like I said, let's move on to the good stuff. The good stuff. Because yeah, we were sitting up there, and it really was like being at the cookout. That really was. It was. I'm sitting up working, and a couple of the men came, and they were just sitting back, and and I was happy that I could actually give a demo game of unfortunately, anomalous video games is something that I don't feature on the table for two reasons. The overall mission statement of this stuff is the stuff that you must do with people in person. And the second, and this is the big one, I was priced out of video games around the PlayStation 1. So I couldn't afford a good internet connection as it was coming out. I couldn't afford computers that could keep up with everything. Even the computer that I work on now could not run The Last of Us if I wanted it to. And you know how old that game is. So can't really talk about video games because I'm way behind. I wouldn't know what I'm talking about. And it would normally be me going, hey guys, what does this mean? And then the chat having to inform me. And then eventually the chat would figure out, wait, I know all this stuff that I'm telling this guy. Why don't I have my own Twitch channel? And then they're gone into the wind, but we do talk role-playing games, card games, comic books, nerd movies, cartoons, like everything about being a nerd except video games. Again, I was priced out, so I don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm pretty sure. And the animes. We do talk about the animes. So yeah. Oh, dude, yeah, that's fine. Most gamers are antisocial in one way or another, and video games are great. And I want to make something real clear. I love video games. I think I've paid for 3 college tuitions with the quarters that I dropped into Street Fighter machines back in the arcade days. Because if I had that money now, everything would be paid for. Once the second generation of the console wars started, first generation being Nintendo versus Sega. But once PlayStation hit the scene, I'm like, I can't do it anymore. I can't afford this. I can't pay my rent, so I can't buy these video games and stuff. And a computer strong enough to run something other than Diablo, yeah. Yeah, no, that was not my thing. But yeah, so really good times were had by all over there. And again, check out Ready Set Games over in Menifee, California. If you guys are in the Southern California area, specifically South Orange County, North San Diego, Riverside, Paris, Lake Elsinore, is a fantastic place, and they are so community oriented, and it's a family run business, and the owners are just amazing people. Really big Warhammer 40K scene there, which is cool. Mm-hmm. And I was happy that I got a chance to give a demonstration of I was really happy that I was able to give a demonstration of Grimdark Future from One Page Rules. So that was some really cool stuff. Yeah, so I think fun times were had by all. Would you agree?
Oh yes, I definitely agree. Even during the demo, it was all fun and games.
Yeah.
Duh.
Of course, I did make the mistake of letting the couple sit next to each other in a free-for-all. Pro tip, guys, and we may do a show on this one day. If you're giving a game demonstration of a competitive game, do not let the couple team up against everybody else at the table. You sit them geographically far apart so that they can't conspire and whisper in cute ways. That's definitely the thing.
You mean they're not whispering sweet nothings when they're next to each other? Oh no.
No, they're whispering sour grapes, going, no, we're gonna take out this. We're gonna gang up on Valerie because man, did she freaking wreck everyone in Settlers of Catan. Oh, we're gonna show her now. So So yeah,
Oh
it's a
boy.
thing. Anyway, our main subject today, our main subject, and this is the thing I wanted to talk about. And we talked about a lot of cool stuff. All right, a lot of cool stuff. I love talking about growing up and that stuff because my childhood was bizarre. And I do lurk on the social medias every now and again, looking at all the places. And this whole boomers, millennials, Gen Z is now in the mix, and everybody hates them. And I'm like, guys, stop. But then I realized me going, guys, stop. Let's be reasonable. Is indicative of Generation X, as well as shut up. All right, fine, fine. I won't talk. Nobody was going to listen anyway. Not like I expected anybody to be there. I'm just gonna go scrape a popsicle stick against the floor and put it against my face. So that's,
Mm.
I mean,
Is it hot? Is it hot yet? Is it hot?
you say that, but again, we were also the generation that understood that everything under our sink could be used for really illegal purposes.
Ooh.
Yeah, and we had such little supervision that a lot of us figured out a lot. So, but there is one thing. Like, I don't really like being proud of things I have no control over, specifically who my parents are, where I was born, and all that jazz. Okay, but I am proud of being part of Generation X, given that of all the generations that have come out since the greatest generation, we've done the least amount. Sorry,
Oh my
Roland just
God.
killed me. Roland just killed me. Yeah,
Oh
yep,
my God,
that's
man.
yeah. So
Wow. Yeah,
viewer
that's
discretion.
par for the course.
Yeah. So yeah, I did too while cleaning. I did it accidentally when I was a kid.
Kool-Aid is interesting
Yes,
in
it
what
is,
respect?
and we don't want to. Yeah, we're so. But one thing I gotta say is that Generation X did the least amount of damage to society and the planet as a whole than a lot of other generations. Primarily because we were adults when the world fell apart, but we never had the power to stop it because our parents wouldn't get out the way. So, so yeah, it
Baby
was like,
boomers?
huh?
Baby boomers?
Yeah, I mean, it's said that millennials are the first generation not to do as well as their parents, and that's not true. It's Generation X. But we did, as Generation
Hmm.
X, do two things that was damaging to American society. And I'm apologizing on behalf of the part that I played. I'm not apologizing for the whole generation. Right? Um, and that was we made ennui a standard emotion up there with happiness, fright, joy, all that stuff. We had ennui, so we're just like, fine. What's cool? I don't care. I really don't. Real talk, the silent generation and the baby boomers the most damage. Okay. That was exactly Roland, like whatever, you know. I mean, we were the generation of slackers, but we weren't slackers. It's just people were
Hmm.
used to not looking at us. But one of the things that we did was we made whatever standard operating procedure. It's one of my favorite jokes from The Simpsons, where they go to Lollapalooza and Smashing Pumpkins is playing, and the kids are like, "Yeah, is this cool? No, that cool? I don't even know what is cool. I'm just here. Yeah, I'm dancing." Um, yes, people underestimated Generation X, but you know what? We're now the aunties and uncles that pack sandwiches and send kids out with milk when they go to protest. So that's who we are. We are the
Hmm.
generation of aunts and uncles. All right. We're just the yep, uh-huh. You know, the only reason that your dad is so strict was because back in the 90s, yeah, he was on so many drugs and I think he knocked over like two liquor stores accidentally. Yeah, didn't the brakes on his car fail? Oh yeah, dude, he was just rolling down the street in Burbank, lost control of the brakes, hit the parking brake, got out the car, let it hit a couple of things and booked. That was your dad. So, that's us. That's who we are. And if that story sounds strangely specific, I was really making it up.
Okay, okay, okay. I'm like,
Yeah.
what? Oh my
um, you know,
God.
yeah, exactly. Nibbling's the kind of stuff their mom used to get into. Exactly. That's who we are. We're that generation that's like, no, we got the dirt on all y'all. We raised you guys. We watched you. real talk, I gotta say, what's the greatest thing Generation X gave the world so far? Generation Z. And I'm sticking to that hard. Our kids are freaking amazing, and I love you guys. If you guys are in Generation Z, keep going, and we will pack you the lunch, and we will tell you what not to do. Okay. If the Occupy Wall Street people had come to us, it probably would have worked. Was is profitable.
But they
Yeah, it
had
is.
so many dumb ideas. They weren't congruent with each other. It was like, you know, mishmash here and there,
Yeah.
and like no one
Because
really said what they wanted.
well, yeah, because your generation was the last generation to be raised by boomers, and the first generation to be raised by hurt Xers. That was the thing. So all of the things that a lot of boomers hated about their parent silent generation, they specifically wanted to make sure that they didn't do it to millennials. Left out a lot of the important life lessons, you know. And then they
Like
killed the
what to
economy.
do,
Huh?
like what to do when you lose your job, go broke, and don't have any food in the house.
Oh, hey, Jade's here. Hey, Jade, what's up? And the answer is yes. That kind of what to do. Um,
Or
primarily,
what to do if you actually have a mental health or don't even know you have mental health concerns, but something's not right, you don't know where to go to.
yeah,
I remember many a time, um I'd go try and check myself in, but I didn't know how.
yeah. I mean, that is definitely one of those real things that go out there. And Jade from Afrocon Capes and Curls is here. So yeah,
Woo!
but
Hey
one of the
Jade.
things, one of the things that Generation X did, um, that caused a lot of damage to the years afterward was we made it uncool to like stuff. And this is something that I wanted to address today. This is our main topic today. Um, it was weird because specifically back in the 90s, we were still teenagers, which is a very nice way to say sociopaths. Um, yeah, God, I am so terrible. Uh, um, I noticed that mocking people for what they like was the way that teenagers interacted with each other. I remember being part of the metal scene and the goth scene and some of the hip hop stuff, and it was like the hip hop folks. Hang on. Ah, yep. The hip hop folks just would not give rock a chance. The rock folks wouldn't give like club music a chance. Like you had all these different subgroups that were divided in the high school stuff. So the metal kids would play with the D&D kids, but they would only play D&D. They would never go to science club and all that. And so when it came, yes, Gygax was a boomer, but again, there are things called outliers, okay? Um, but
Mhm.
yeah, back in the 90s, it was like making fun of people for something that they liked had become so standard that it infected the rest of a lot of society.
I
And
would say it almost became like a sport.
yeah, that is a really good way to put that. It's like, oh no, man, this is where we start with the pain Olympics, the I have it worse than you do type thing all the way down. And here's the thing. Now, for those of you guys that don't know, my day job is as a holiday mascot, right? So sometimes when I'm not digging ditches or emptying cargo containers, um, you'll go to an event somewhere in Southern California and I'm Santa Claus or I'm the jack o' lantern. I'm Pennywise the clown at the It Experience. I'm Vecna or one of the freaking demigorgons at the Stranger Things experience. That's I could be any of those things at any time. And I'm not gonna lie, other than the fat stacks that those jobs give me when I do them, I love the work. Okay. Yes, the costumes are hot but I get to. I don't have to. I get to put on costumes and be different things. Currently, I'm a mall Easter bunny, which means I get to entertain children 6 days a week right now. Yes, I'm sweating. Yes, it hurts because sweat gets in my eyes and stuff. But yesterday, I ended up getting a whole bunch of hugs and head, shoulders, knees, toes games and patty cakes with like a whole family. This is some really good stuff. No, I do not mean traumatize. I do my best not to traumatize. And, I have studied child psychology, but you are mean. You're mean.
That's
No,
awful.
I traumatize them when they see my actual face. See, that's the thing that happens. I'm like, hey kids, they're like, oh my God, his hair is blue. So yeah, I mean it's a thing. And there's a lot of people that I see like preteens are so funny because in their hearts they're going, dude, it's the Easter bunny. This is great. But can be like that in front of your friends. So I had like a whole group of young black boys come up to me. Yeah, bro, keep it wholesome. Yeah. And I'm like,
Bro,
you
keep it
know you
wholesome.
want to give me a high five. Yeah, seriously.
What were you doing out there? Solar strip teasing?
No.
I said, what were you doing?
They weren't saying keep it wholesome. They were saying, yeah, bro, I like you. Yeah. And but I'm out there and I'm like, I have little signs that I made, like the Easter Bunny says, "Thank your father and make sure he gets the big piece of chicken in the good chair when you get home." Thank your mom for bringing you out and doing that stuff. Like I love the hug, but go hug your mom. That kind of thing. And that's the joy that I can bring to people's lives because when you're in third grade, you believe in the Easter Bunny. Part of you knows that it's just a dude in a suit. Yeah, exactly. I'm making kids happy and teaching them to be friendly. But being a Generation X person, okay, little background. I watched Mr. Rogers and Reading Rainbow until I was about 20.
Me too. Oh my God. Well, not when I was 20. No. Because it was off the air, way off the air by then. But I grew up watching Mr. Rogers too.
Yeah,
what? You found it?
Yeah, I found it. Oh yeah. Yeah, you're right. LeVar Burton better be one of your idols. He's a national treasure, and the world is going to black out the day that he shuffles off this mortal coil.
Don't talk about that.
Look,
oh my God.
All my other childhood idols are pretty much gone. We even lost Lance Reddick this R.I.P.
Who?
Lance Reddick from The Wire, from John Wick. He was the big black man with a voice like this and a bald head. And then he would take off his shirt and you realize that he lived at a gym, But yeah, I mean, already lost Uncle Phil, Prince, Jim Henson, Bob Ross. It's just part of aging, okay? We lost him a long time ago, Neon.
Oh yeah. Man.
I even found out from the show last week that we lost Clarence Williams III, and that hurt my. But yeah, so I'm all about being wholesome. I love family time. I love kids. I love all that stuff. But there are just people that are just like, nah, man, if I like this, I'm gonna be made fun of. I'm gonna do that. Like, if when I'm running D&D games and all that stuff, I personally don't like elves. I don't like the idea
because they represent the elite.
Yeah, I have a thing against the master race, and just things that are born better. I just don't like that concept. I'm too human for that. I believe in the unlimited potential of humanity. So I believe anyone can learn anything, maybe not as quickly as they want to, but can. The capacity is big, and that's why I believe in all of you guys, and I tell you this every show that it comes up. Yeah, he died back in like 2021, bro. I found out on the show, on my last show. So, the idea of elves, not my thing. But there are a lot of people where elves are their jam. They have had like pointy elf ears their whole life. And, if you're as old as I am or even younger, a lot of people's first love of elves came from Leonard Nimoy, and I can't be mad at that.
Well, I watched quite a bit of Star Trek in my day, and I can't say I got an affinity for elves because of Spock.
Mm-hmm.
I liked Spock, and I thought the original three trope Kirk, McCoy, and Spock were great together. But I didn't think. I mean, I see it now. The connection between him and elves because of
Mm-hmm.
pointy ears, but also it was more like he was a sci-fi elf, I guess, instead
He
of a
is.
fantasy elf.
That's what the Vulcans are. Just like the Romulans are sci-fi dark elves. So it's a thing.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah. So, but yeah. So I kind of get it, but I'm not with it and all that stuff. And Spock was my favorite character, although I wanted to be Scotty until the next
Mm-hmm.
generation when I discovered Geordi. And hello, we're back to LeVar Burton. We've come full circle. And of course, half of a circle is a rainbow. It's a bow. So take a look. Yes, it's a sci-fi
Reading
rainbow. you know,
rainbow.
but yeah, but the whole idea of enjoying things, in the '90s became a general oh, dude, Xanathage, you just gained 16 points because Scotty was who I wanted to be, and it turns out I grew into McCoy. Because damn it,
I
I'm an
couldn't get
actor.
into Voyager.
I'm an actor, not an
I couldn't
electrician.
get
Actually, I
Yeah, I
was.
couldn't get into Voyager, honestly. And I think it was because my grandma impressed upon me that women were not supposed to be captains in the Star Trek universe. And I'm like, what are you talking? I should be like, Grandma, now. Grandma, what are you talking about? Putting women down like that? That's awful.
Yeah, seriously. Again, in the immortal words of Whoopi Goldberg, Mama, there's a black woman on TV and she ain't no maid. So yeah, I mean, sci-fi is always about has always been about possibility. It's what we could be versus what we are.
Mm-hmm.
And when
Right.
it comes to enjoying stuff, now I get this a lot because I love superhero comics. And I don't mean cathartic motivational comics. I'm talking aspirational comics,
Mm-hmm.
A quick refresher for those of you guys that just got here and didn't see that show. Cathartic motivational comics or cathartic motivational characters are characters that reflect people in the world as they are. Aspirational characters are characters that are reflective of what people could be. The biggest
Well,
difference,
damn, I just learned something new.
yeah. So
Sorry.
the biggest difference would be the Justice League versus the X-Men. No one is Superman. No one is Batman. No one can be Superman or Batman or the Flash. But they are important because we need to aspire to be like them, to be as dedicated as Batman, be as responsible and caring with our power as Superman, to be as hopeful and as patient as the Flash with their power. Um, versus the X-Men, where there is an X-Man for every person that you know. You can look at the X-Men and go, that's Tom, that's Frank, that's Justin, you know, because the X-Men are reflective of the adolescent experience, especially adolescent experience from the disenfranchised factor. Disenfranchised via race, religion, creed, gender identity, sexual orientation, disability, neurodivergency, or budget. So, yeah, that's a thing. And people look at me going, dude, I don't like Superman. That's not realistic. I'm like, it ain't supposed to be. But it'll never be realistic as long as you keep believing that it's not realistic. This is why I'm more of a Roddenberry versus Berman guy, because there were no cell phones in 1965 when Star Trek was on the air. But the engineers that grew up watching Star Trek invented cell phones. And in 1998, Motorola created the first flip phone called the StarTAC. I wonder where that came from. um, I only know this because,
You
I was,
still get this phone?
huh?
I'm sorry. I know. Can you still get that phone? Because I would love to get that for my grandma. She's a
Uh,
huge Star Trek fan. Oh my god. I'm
no,
sorry.
no, but you can't. There are
Damn it.
companies out there that will custom make a cell phone that looks like the 1960 something phone that
The
Kirk used to
communicator.
flip and go, Kirk Enterprise. Um, you know. I mean,
I'm
I'm not gonna
excited.
lie. I know that it's out there and it's probably buyable on Amazon, to have
Mm-hmm.
a Bluetooth integrated switch for the phone so you can push your Star Trek insignia and operate your cell phone. I know that's already out there, because all it is a Bluetooth. So I can be like, you know, Solar to Heather, we're going on it too, that kind of thing. And that would be awesome. So yeah, yeah, it was rolling, because women in tech always rock, always rock. And again, a lot of women get deterred from it because liking things tends to be mocked. And this is something that I want to put out there for you. It's okay to like stuff, Now sometimes it's not. Oh, dude, Hedy Lamar. There was something about that version of the Lost Generation with Hedy Lamar, Robert A. Heinlein, Christopher Lee. These were all super people. Like the world got dark when they left. If you don't know the Christopher Lee thing, look him up. I'm pretty sure Ian Fleming based Bond on him. I'm not joking. And Heinlein, and Hedy Lamar, oh my god. And of course the women from Hidden Figures that made it possible for freaking space travel. Yeah, this is just again, human beings are amazing. Um, so um, the real talk is that from the '90s, my generation made liking things either something that was unacceptable to show or continue the bullying status of something that's worth mocking. And I want your guys' help as deckers to help me through that. Say it's okay to like something. If something gets your goat, that's one thing. But if something keeps you in it, causes that bliss, that joy, that happy. And I hear this all the time. If you guys are D&D players, you know what I'm talking about when I talk about the schism between the newer players who play 5e and the ones who play Pathfinder. And it's the same schism that happened with 3.0 and AD&D. Just there's always people that want to make fun of people for liking stuff primarily out of fear, out of jealousy. Okay, that's one of the things. It's like, how dare you be happy? I can't be happy, kind of a thing.
Mm.
And it's really one of those things where, like, one of the things I've always liked about we nerds is we know what brings us joy and we're not ashamed of it. And being a nerd, and y'all know what I'm talking about, um being a nerd, it's one of these things where it's like we were mocked, ridiculed, assaulted, like hurt a lot for liking things. But we laid the groundwork.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why I love Generation Z, because they are unashamed, and a good part of millennials too. Unashamed, like what? You're a grown ass woman, and you have a house full of video games and toys. What's wrong with you? Why aren't you getting married and having kids? It's like, because I
I
want my
remember my
childhood
aunt
first.
Stacy.
Huh?
I remember my aunt Stacy was like, "Oh, cartoons! I don't want to watch cartoons. I watch cartoons all day with the kids. Put something real on." I'm like, "This is real. This is cartoons. What's wrong with cartoons? There's nothing wrong with cartoons. Absolutely nothing. I like cartoons. Thank you, and I'm gonna keep watching cartoons. Thank you."
And that's one of the things that my mom and I really bonded over, because she was unashamed in the stuff that she, and she's like, "You don't like it? Get out of my house. You ain't got to be here." And I'm like,
Hey,
"Give it a
that's
shot.
spoken like a true
You
blind
just
mom.
might." Yeah, I'm like, "Give it a shot. You just might like it." It's
Mm-hmm.
um, but a lot of folks get caught up in a lot of these ideas. And these are ideas that on their own are okay, but they can become toxic very, very quickly. And the ideas are things that get caught up in roles. Okay. Not just gender roles, but adult roles. I talk to
Mm-hmm.
people a lot and I tell them all the time, should and supposed to are very dangerous phrases, because an adult is supposed to not like childish things. And I'm like, you're misinterpreting that particular Bible verse. An adult should put away childish things like the notion of what an adult is, so that they can see the world as it is and accept it and navigate through it. Instead of going, no, grown-ups know everything. Mommy knows everything. Daddy knows everything. That's why mommy and daddy always do things right. And then when they become adults, they find out we're just making it up as we go along, just like everybody else. We're just a little better at
You
it.
know, there are two things that actually scare me in this world. Um, One, that I'm the adult, and two, um, my parents are just basically like me. They're kids too, but older. They're still learning, and I guess that's not as scary, but it does scare me because it's like, well, what if I get to a certain point my parents didn't get to, and I don't know how to figure it out because they didn't know how to figure it out. So that kind of scares me a little bit. But yeah, those two things, between knowing that I'm the adult in the room, I'm the only, like, I'm with a group of my friends, and then suddenly I realize, oh my God, we're the adults.
Well, I got some good news and bad news for you. One, yeah, it is scary realizing that you're the adult. Um,
Yeah.
but the good news is that that's what friends are for, especially when you have friends from all walks of life. Again, that's why I started this company. Um, there was a lot that my mom didn't know about in the world because she grew up in the 1950s. There was segregation, blah 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 blah. Um, but with that, she didn't know a lot of the things to teach me about the world that was coming. Like where I grew up in the hood during the crack wars, we didn't know financial literacy. We literally thought that to grow your savings account, you paid off all your bills and then put what was left over in your savings account. And it took the henchman, the back in the deck henchman, the one whose house is a monster house. Um, yeah, it took him showing me that you pay yourself first. Like you get your check, you put money in your savings account, and then you pay bills with whatever's left after that. Especially when you don't have enough money to pay off all your bills anyway. I'm like, oh,
And you know
that's how,
what? He's
yeah,
not wrong.
of course
He is
not.
not. I'm sorry, but when you told me about that, I was like, wait a minute. That makes perfect sense. That's how people are getting as much money as they do.
Yeah,
It's not that, they have a better job. It's not that they have, some kind of inside knowledge or anything like that. It's just they pay themselves before they pay anybody else.
right.
And I'm sorry, that's the real way to do it.
Yeah, because in life, um, everyone has something important to contribute. And if you enjoy things, that joy that you bring to the table is contributing something someone else's life and enriching yours. And here's a funny thing about the universe, Deckers. Okay, this is wizard talking. Where's my hat? I don't have my hat. But emotions, states of being, are amplified by sharing. Okay? It's weird, but follow me on this. You guys hear me all the time talking about how fun is contagious. How many times have you guys been playing games? Someone at the store or at your friendly local gaming club sees you and your people playing the game and enjoying it, and you guys get that die roll where the whole table goes, oh, like a bunch of guys in a Spike Lee movie, and um someone comes over and asks you questions. Roland, you are my man. All right. I'm
He's
gonna
on
buy
point
you a
with that
shot
comment.
as soon as I have 50 cents. Okay.
He's on point.
Yeah. Shared joy is amplified. Shared misery is lessened. Like I said, I gotta buy this guy a drink for 50 cents. Um, if you know, you know. If not, we'll go over it in another show because that requires an entire show to go through. Um, so yeah, but yeah, so when you share that joy, when you unabashedly live the things that you're happy about, okay, it gets on people. And a lot of folks be like, get away from me. Yeah, Lady Gaga is stupid. I don't want to listen to that music. And then next thing you know, a week later, you're sitting at their desk. Da, 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 da. Oh, you get on my nerves, you know.
Poker face.
Yeah, seriously. And this is coming from someone who's adored they might be giants since the 19th. Okay. um, so yeah, I mean, really, 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 um, this is a big thing. Now, there are, you know, during the struggles, they will pull us down, but please take this chance to turn things around because, seriously speaking, when you do the stuff that keeps you in it, the joy, and it's really hard to get them because, you know, in the words of Bill Hicks, he talked about TV, but I'm just gonna paraphrase with the internet. You know, you open your phone and it's death, plague, destruction, war, anger, depression, and sure enough, you know, you look out your window and it's like, where's all this happening? But it gets into your brain like a little worm, and you know, that's the whole thing. But come in with that joy. You know, you come in with that joy. And that joy gets on people because they see you smiling. And not going to lie, haters going to hate. We know that. Until you pull a hater aside one on one and be like, bruh, you're hating a whole lot of stuff. But what can I do to help you enjoy this? This is literally what I do.
First,
You know?
first you got to take the haterade out of their hand
Hmm?
so they don't keep drinking it.
Well, this is how to take the haterade. You know,
Hmm.
share your joy and be genuine. Do what you can. See people to say, all right, man, what's the word? What is it about this that you're hating? Oh no, man, this is just stupid. Or that's dumb. You moving around your little toy soldiers. Why are you here? Why are you at this store? You know, why are you at this gaming club? Why are you doing this stuff? Well, you should sit down and play a real game. Like what? Be happy to play. And they're like, well, so much steam gets taken out the window. You know, now I'm fortunate. Okay, I'm letting you guys know right now. I recognize what I am, which is I'm a person who genuinely enjoys things and who wants to genuinely enjoy life. You know, when I look at movies not for what they did wrong, for what's good about it. It's why I don't do movie reviews anymore. Um, because honestly, I know I like a lot of stuff that is so poorly made. I mean, crappy, crappy movies. And I love them. I love them
like
to death. Hmm?
Killer Tomatoes,
Like everything from Full Moon.
Full
Okay.
Moon,
Full Moon
like
Productions, the ones that brought us Demonic Toys, Killer Bong,
oh,
Doll Man, the Puppet Master series, Ice Pirates, Trancers.
okay.
Okay, Neon Arlecchino, I'm always with you. I always do this to you. Thank you for differentiating. You loved Suicide Squad, or as we call it here, the Academy Award winning Suicide Squad. Not to be confused with the Suicide Squad. We disagree with that because I could not stand that movie, but you love it? Cool. And one of these days when we can see each other in person again, I will sit down with you and I want you to share that joy that you get out of that movie with me so that maybe I can. Because the reason it is so important to enjoy stuff is that there's so much in life, modern society, social media to make us hate everything. Okay? Seriously, everything. All right? To hate the way
Why
we
is
look,
it
to
like
hate.
that though?
Hmm? Wait,
Why is it like that though?
coming back.
Why are we geared to actually try to hate things? That doesn't make sense to me.
Um, the real answer to that question is simple. Hate is powerful emotion. It is. Um, when hate or anger is brought to the, it elicits a response neurologically that makes us want to do something. Okay. It's in the fear categories of mental stuff. When we're angry, mad, or hateful, the dopamine in our head mixes with the adrenaline in our bodies, and then we go, now let's do something about it. Let's kill it. Let's get back at it. Let's argue it. You know, and thus you have social media because enjoying things, you can go, ah, I really like that, and that's it. You know, but let someone try and hate something that you love, you'll defend it. Because of those rushes and because of oh, I wouldn't go that far. Call of Fortnite. Call of Fortnite here says anger is never the answer. Not necessarily true. Anger is the emotion that lets people know that they've been treated unfairly. Okay, and that spurns a lot of emotion. There was a lot of anger in the protest that gets bills passed or that stops bills from getting passed. There's a lot of good stuff about anger. You know, the anger that says, no, we need to tell this senator that we're not voting for him. The anger that says we're not going into work until we get better safety conditions. You know, that's um there's an old term that was the spaceship in a cartoon and comic series I loved called Bucky O'Hare, which is what I'm naming my first boat if ever I get it. And the phrase is righteous indignation. It is well deserved anger about something that is worth out. Okay. And this is big, you know, when someone says, we don't want your sister at the gaming table because we don't want girls, and you look at them and you're like, what is wrong with you and why am I still your friend? That is righteous indignation, you know. That's righteous anger. That brings about good fury, you know. Righteous indignation founded this country. Yeah, yeah, a lot of it. Righteous
Yeah,
indignation caused a lot
at the
of the good
British.
stuff,
Yeah.
you know. Um,
Yeah, it did.
you know, so anger has a place and it's a natural and healthy thing to do. Just like joy is a natural thing. And the stuff that brings you joy, I mean, when I say enjoy, the word is enjoy. To have joy in something, okay? It's to put joy in to something. So we have happiness that we have. And if something that you listen to, like music that you um, um, or a cartoon that you like, and the community that I'm in geographically, there's a lot of folks because of the anti-LGBT, the lack of or the anti-LGBTQ plus um thought processes in their culture. They hated Steven Universe, and they were talking about all these predatory and anti-trans and all this other stuff reasons to hate the show. Okay? And they were talking about how there's a better show out there called Over the Garden Wall. And I'm like, there's room in all of our hearts and heads to like both. 'Cause I do like both. But all of their reasons were based in a lot of hate. And I'm like, a show about an overweight kid with a big heart. Gee, I wonder who that reminds me of. Stop it. Stop it. Um and who solves their problems by talking with people and try and work out the differences instead of making evil stop being evil with their fists. Oh no, that's a kid's show that no one should ever show their children. Come on, guys. Um so yeah, I mean it really is a thing. And I find joy in a lot of that stuff. And in the same time, there's a lot of things that people find joy in that just don't touch me emotionally, but I appreciate their joy. In fact, it's a lot cooler to be around happy people. you know.
It really is. It really is. And their happiness is infectious, just as you said. So, um, why are we not liking things that we like exactly again? Because we
Again,
want to be
that
miserable, grumpy people?
well no, anger and hatred um does things biochemically to us that pushes us into action or pushes us into interaction. And we live in a world where interaction is monetized. The more people interact, the more money someone makes. So there
Mm.
again, it's why today we've got more viewers today than we generally have, and I love that you guys have stuck around. I'm really loving this. Thank you. Thank you for sticking around because again, if most of you guys are here from the double toasted raid, y'all know how I am about double toasted. Like me and Corey, boom, we're there. But yeah, oh, and Hannibal's here. What's going on, bro? Um, oh, and shout out to Grey Ghost 82. Thank you for being here, and I hope the kids are watching with. Um, but yeah, but joyful things, happy things, positive things. People don't interact with those because one, it comes down to something that's very oh yeah, well I know that's happy. Yeah, that's happy. Versus, oh no, I can't believe they said that. Oh no, I'm on them. But
Flame war.
yeah, there was that. But there was what I call the first Me Too movement. Me Too movement that created amazing things out there like Ren Fair and D&D community. And that's, you do that? Me too. And then, there's that common connection. You play D&D? Me too. You play Battletech? Me too. Oh, hey, what's going on, Jup Shunk? And those things that cause that joy, when touched by somebody else that gets that same joy, boom. Now you got friendship. Now you got life family. Now you've got all that other stuff. And I would love, and I see this quite a lot, especially on TikTok. Thank you so much, Generation Z. Where I'll look at a video and I'll go to the comments section that you're never supposed to do on YouTube and never supposed to go on Facebook and all that stuff. And I look at the comment section and I see people going, man, this is great. This person is amazing. That is so funny. Look, it's a meme of people laughing. And I'm like, the world's getting better. The world is getting better. Then I'll send my kid a TikTok message because they don't return text messages. And I'll be like, hey, what can I do to make your day a little better? you know? And so yeah, you're right. Call of Fortnite. I talk about a lot of topics that people don't want to talk about. But it's primarily because there is good in this world. There is good in this world, good in people. This whole channel is put together from people getting together and, let's face it, playing really, really, really elaborate games of pretend, either with little figures. Oh wait, little figures that go pew 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 pew, or with books. Yeah, with books that say, "Oh, now at this point in my story, my character is going to be doing this," you know, or with playing video games and going, "I'm going to pretend to save the world." It's perfectly fine and it's perfectly great to enjoy things and to have things. People that want to shame you for enjoying things that don't hurt anybody and don't traumatize any kids, I'm putting that out there for you trolls, shouldn't carry as much weight as we've been trained to allow them to. But know this, guys. Now, all of you guys out there right now, the ones who are still watching and the ones who see this from the future, there ain't nothing wrong with enjoying things. If you enjoy it, like I do not, yeah, I know, Neon, and your bridge is right over there. Don't make me banish you. I've rattles around here somewhere. I will banish you under your bridge. If you're watching this from the future, know that there are always going to be people that want to point a thumb at you or try and get their friends. Like, I come from black culture, and black culture is like, man, why are you wearing stuff like that? Yeah, he be walking around like, "Grr, grr, 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 grr." And I'm like, try it, bro. Like, give it a shot. Just give it a shot. and and without fail, it's always one dude in the group that's going, yo, man, but that Justice League book that you loaned me, like, that was the truth, man. Like, yeah, you want some more? Yeah, man. No, we gonna do that. Sitting up going, so wait, you painted all that stuff? Yeah, man, you should be out there like chasing girls and stuff like that, not making these little toys. And there's always two or three people going, yeah, but them toys is dope though, right? Yeah, I mean they dope, but he shouldn't be. If he was a real man, he'd be out there just buying that stuff or paying somebody to paint it for him. There's always that level of toxicity. And this isn't just toxic masculinity, guys. This is what I call toxic consumerism. Okay.
You don't have to be masculine in order to be toxic, just so we're all clear. For example, I was telling my aunt Stacy one time when she was down from Victorville about a game I was playing in White
See,
Wolf
now
and
I know
how
you're lying because when I lived in Victorville, there were only two people there, me and Victor. That was it. I looked at him and
well,
I'm like,
you know what?
why do you stay here? Why don't you move? And he just pointed to the sign and he was like, where would I go? But oh, come on, that was
Oh
funny.
no.
That was funny. You may laugh.
Well, no, but I was describing how the game went, and the topic of fetish came up, and she's like, "What? I thought you were playing a game. This doesn't sound like something you should be playing." And then, of course, we talked about other things like how you dedicate your clothes and stuff like that. And she's like, "This is a weird game. Why are you playing this?" And of course, she was also the one who was all like, "I don't want to watch cartoons. I watch that all day." So it's like you, as an adult, you have to leave that stuff behind. For some reason, people think you need to leave that stuff behind. And you don't. You really don't.
No.
It's okay to like it. It's okay to play it. It's okay to join others. Please do.
Yeah. And yes, Roland, she is talking about werewolf. I think back to my nephew Nicholas. This was back in 2000, I think it was, yeah. And at that particular time, I was doing a lot of Gundam models, not like modeling, because I didn't know much about that back in the day. So I would just buy them from Target because they were $7, and I'd glue them together. And
They were $7 at Target.
yeah,
Oh my lord!
they were like
I
that
remember
big,
paying about
maybe.
25 for a mini.
Yeah, they were about that big, the Gundam models back at Target. But this was in the year 2000. Okay, this was the year 2000. And but the thing is, he looked at me and he's like, Uncle Solar, why do you have so many toys? And I said, well, Nicholas, it's very simple. You see, I'm a grown up and I have a job. And I can take the money from my job and I can buy whatever I want. You like these toys? Well, yeah, I like them too. That's why I have so many toys. And honestly, he's a cool dude now. He's a really cool dude. And by cool, I mean he's a great big dork that loves anime and all that stuff, and he is joyful. He's happy. Which was, I mean, I'm not going to say I contributed a whole lot to that. I was just the uncle, his grandmother did a great job and, his mom did a decent job. So all that stuff. Oh yeah. House of Afrocons. All right. What's up, Jay? Yeah. You don't have to leave it behind when you grow up. That just means you got more money to play with and more ways to find, relax, and have fun. Exactly. That is what we are talking about, because,
There's so much joy that's already sucked out of life that it's like, why not have something that brings you joy? It's just like you said, so there's like, catastrophe here, catastrophe there, or something else happening, but if we don't see it, we're not experiencing it. But we have the ability to experience joy. We can bring ourselves joy, and we can bring joy to others, just like you do when you're in your Easter bunny outfit, or any costume you're in and there's kids involved. As long as you're making those kids happy, you are doing your job.
yeah, and that's exactly the thing. And yeah, everybody likes dabbing Santa. But Um, yeah, I mean, the real talk on that is that joy in and of itself is a fantastic emotion. It really is. Um, in a meta overall sense, it's good to like stuff. Now a lot of people, because the war at this has been going for a long time. I've known quite a few people that liked the exact same stuff as I like and still wanted to gatekeep me out because I didn't like the stuff that they liked for the right reasons.
What?
And I'm like, hold up. Um,
What are the right reasons exactly
well,
now? I'm not privy to this.
hang on. People that are watching this, especially from the future, get your keyboards ready because I'm about to go hot take. Ready? Now, as you know, I have a lot of friends from every walk of life, every piece of the political spectrum, every piece of the religious spectrum. If you cool, I mess with you. All right, that's the whole thing. And if you guys are new to the channel, I do everything I can to keep this a safer work podcast, which is why I don't cuss that much. But sometimes things slip, or sometimes I have a guest where things slip. Thus, the disclaimer in the beginning of the show. So, things that I don't like for the right reasons. Star Wars. Uh, um, Wait, do that again, because that was an eye roll for the ages. Let's try that again. One, two. Star Wars.
Really? I love
Oh,
Star Wars. So I'm just
now,
saying, I love me some Star Wars as well as Star Trek.
well, yeah, I know you love some Star Wars. You came to my sword fighting class to get better with your lightsaber. um,
Yep.
you know,
But you specifically told me not to use on any of the guys at the Saber Grips. I remember
and you probably did
that.
and found out why.
No, no, I didn't. No, I listened to your instructions.
Okay.
I knew what I could do. Could do some real damage. I'm like, okay, all right. This is for when I, need to defend myself against some unruly guy or someone who just don't know how to stop being handsy.
Or,
So that's
well, it comes down to the people that go, oh, you think you know what to do with a lightsaber, and they start going harder than friendly. Like you did
yeah, I've
in
had
that
that happen
class,
more than
if I
once.
recall correctly. I think that was the first time I put you in an armbar.
I don't recall that.
Oh yeah, yeah,
That's
I remember because yeah, I was teaching something. You were like, "All right, fine." I'm like, "Are we done?" And you're like, "Yes, okay, okay." It was the test to see if I knew what I was doing. I saw it. I saw you, Eddie. I saw you. No, but yeah, Star Wars. I like Star Wars for the Jedi's, the aliens, and the exploration of the world. Okay. Um, I did not. Now, when I say that, I like all that. And I do have to say that Star Wars did not have the awakening of my imagination. It wasn't responsible to the awakening of my imagination to possibilities in sci-fi. Because, I know a lot of people who have loved Star Wars since May 24th, 1977. I know that. Okay? And when they see the Corellian cruiser going, they're like, dude, this spaceship looks really cool. And then they see the Star Destroyer just go on and on and on for days. They were like, like people listening to Tools and listening to Tool and reading the lyrics and actually realizing it's about awakening the third eye and then spiritual transcendence. Their mind was blown. And that solidified Star Wars in a very, very, very special place in their hearts and in their minds. It's like Star Wars is almost like a religion. Their exposure to Star Wars was, to use a Christian metaphor, the first time they felt God's love. Okay. Um, and the fact of the matter is, my awakening like that was Doctor Who. You know, a dude traveling through space and time going, yeah, I'm going to fix a few things and then I'm going to bail, but I just want to see it. And I'm like, oh my God, it's possible to be a space-time hobo. I was all the way there, Yeah, I was all the way there.
My grandma loves Doctor Who too. I've watched a few shows with her. I've also watched a few shows with Black and White Now in color. And I like the possibilities that happen in Doctor Who, but that wasn't what sparked my interest. I think what sparked my interest was more fantasy stuff than
Hmm.
sci-fi, but they go together. So what did it for me was Legend with Tim Curry, Tom Cruise, and I forget the woman's name who was Lily.
That's me.
But yeah, that was
That was Mia. Yeah, her name was Mia.
Mia. Yeah, her name was Mia. And but and then there came Labyrinth, Dark Crystal, and it was just like, wow, all this stuff's amazing. And then I heard about how my dad did role playing, and I was just like hooked. I wanted to do anime, I wanted to do role playing, I wanted to do all these things.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah. I'm 100%. I'm right there with you. And you brought up Legend. I'm like, oh my god, it was the first time I wanted to be the devil. But yeah.
No, I'm telling you, that devil is cool looking, man. I even had a replica of the devil, like the Tim Curry's character, the devil
Yeah,
creature,
darkness.
and
Yeah,
darkness, and I lost it in a move. I'm so mad at myself for that.
yeah. I mean,
But yeah,
yeah.
I had a copy.
And we got Card Thulu going, yeah, first time you wanted to be the devil, but not the last. Quite. But yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, I learned to contact juggle because of Labyrinth. It catch me at a pool hall that I haven't been banned from. But yeah, but that was the thing. But so when the prequels came out and they're like blah 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 Ray this blah 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 Mary Sue, I'm like, honestly, again hot take. So here it comes. Here it comes. I know. Hang on. Oh my god, I know the hot take is coming. So yeah, how can I put this? I actually like Ray in the first movie more than I liked Luke in A New Hope. Send all emails to backinthedeck@gmail.com. That's BACKINTHEDECK at gmail.com. Or yell at me on Twitter, Instagram, all that other stuff. Just put that out there. Yeah. All right. So, but
He just slipped in. He just slipped in an unpopular opinion on the sly, and then just tried to exit us out. That just so y'all are aware. It's like, yeah, Ray's better in the first movie than the second. Oops, gotta go.
No. I just know. Like, I'm surprised we still have that many viewers. I know that the moment oh wait, yep, they're leaving. It's just a matter of I just knew. I know that the moment I say that, my email is going to be like, "How dare you with Dr. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'll take that.
Oh, so you're priming them up. You're priming them up for them to give you the hate speech.
I'm just letting you know what I enjoyed better. I didn't like how whiny Luke was in the first one. I mean, we got to go to a consultation and pick up some power converters versus, yep, I'm collecting garbage and now I'm buying stuff to eat. Yeah, that's it's the female Tom Waits versus the very young Mark Hamill being whiny. My favorite character from A New Hope, I had two. They were Vader and Han. Those were my dudes. I didn't even have like a Darth Vader toy when I was growing up, but I had a pencil eraser shaped like him. And I'm like, this cloak is so cool. And I'd be playing in school with my little Darth Vader. And yeah, and I mean, so yeah, I mean, seriously, that was the whole thing. But yeah, I like the space, I like the aliens, and I love the Jedi. I'm not a big fan of the rebellion versus the Empire thing. I'm not, and again, I really liked the spaceships. I loved the X-Wing. I loved the A-Wing. Although, not gonna lie, my favorite spaceship or my favorite fighter ship growing up was the Colonial Viper from Battlestar Galactica. So, Boba Fett, I thought his armor was cool, but I'm not part of the cult of Boba Fett. And I was a fan of Jabba, but not as much as I'm a fan of Salacious Crumb. I don't know why. I just don't know why. Just sitting up, I think because Jabba reminded me of so many of my mom's friends that would force me to give them hugs and kisses when I was growing up. But
I had a teacher in high school who looked like a fleshy Jabba the Hutt, and I was just like, oh my god, this is awful. I have to sit in a class for an hour and a half looking at Jabba the Hutt girlfriend.
Yeah, exactly. But, just having Salacious Crumb just be cut to going, I'm like, who is that guy? What is his story? I don't know. And again, and as with the original trilogy, I don't love the Empire, but I love their leadership. Okay, I'm all about Vader. And then when Return of the Jedi came out, and I learned what shade was. I didn't know what shade was. I really didn't. I didn't know. I mean, in case you hadn't guessed it, I was a sarcastic child. But just the way to freaking push someone's buttons. No one was better at that than Palpatine. No one. Emperor Palpatine was the master of shade. Just sitting up going, I'm afraid that your friends will find this station is fully operational when your friends arrive. Or what, you're looking for this? You want this? Yeah, go on. Take your weapon. Strike me down with your anger, and your journey to the dark side will be complete. And I'm just like, he's daring him to do. It's like that one kid in school who knows he can kick your butt going, go ahead, hit me. I'll let you have the first one. Matter of fact, I'll let you have the first 3. Go ahead. I know you want to hit me. Go ahead. Do it. Hit me. Go ahead. Because see, when you hit me, my big brother's going to come in here and he is going to pound you into dirt. So go ahead, hit me. Give me a reason to go home crying. Come on. And I'm just like, dude, yeah. So yeah, I mean, that was the big thing. And a lot of my friends like it because they see themselves as part of the rebellion and they want to take down the man and all that. Oh my God.
Nice. Gotta subscribe.
Hey, Ganja Guru, what is going on? Oh my God, thank you so much, Ganja Guru. Oh, dude, Daniel, thank you so much, Anomalous Daniel, for gifting 10 subs out to. Oh man, I'm gonna be dancing for a while.
Nice.
All right, yeah, thank you guys so much. Neon Knight, it's good to have you back and all that stuff. Thank you so much. So yeah, I mean that was my thing, but I don't see myself as part of the rebellion. I don't see myself taking down the system, but I don't watch narratives. Grundy,
wow, we're getting all the subscribers today.
All right. So yeah, I don't see myself in any of those, but I grew up black in LA. There were no stories for me growing up, so I watch everything from the third person point of view. And, Red Hulk, you're back. All right. Uh-oh. Now we've got Red Hulk and Neon Arlecchino. All right, I'm going to need some backup with all these trolls. But yeah, so the real talk on that is, with all of those things, okay, Turtle Hermit. And so when it comes to my love of Star Wars, I do love Star Wars. I like the pew pew. I like to lift stuff up with their minds. But other Star Wars fans are like, you're not a real Star Wars fan. Let me gatekeep this because you're supposed to. All right. And I'm just like, dude, I like Star Wars well enough, and there's so many things to like about it. I can like my stuff, you can like your stuff, and the fact that I don't feel the same way about the aspects of it that you do. Thank you, Red Sage.
Woohoo! Thank you. Thank you, everyone who's subscribing today. We really appreciate it.
So just because I like the same stuff, but I don't like it for I don't like it for the same reasons, that doesn't diminish the joy that either one of us can get. In fact, all ups. So yeah, and I mean that's a big thing. Now I prefer Star Wars over Star Trek because part of the things I love is where would I like to live, and I do a lot of studying.
Tatooine.
Huh?
Tatooine.
No, I would like to live. Thank you guys for all the support. Now, I would like to live in San Francisco via Starfleet. Thank you.
No, you can't go wrong with that. Starfleet Command is actually great. You you get so much exposure. I'm just you really can't go wrong.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the forest moon of Endor would be kind of dope for a little while, but the bugs would get on my nerves eventually. I've lived in the woods. You can have it. You know, no, not eating stormtroopers, Neon. But yeah, I mean, like seriously, if I were to choose a universe to live in, yeah, I'm all about living on Earth in Star Trek. Okay, or living in the TARDIS, because with the TARDIS, I can go just about anywhere. I can be like, you know what? I'm gonna go to this planet that's a lot like Rivendell, and I was about to say Riverdale, and I don't want to live in an Archie comic. um, yeah, seriously, they don't put nothing on their burgers. I don't know what it is. I'm like, are those things even seasoned,
Are they
Jughead?
are those like White Castle burgers? Because then I understand.
That's fair. That's fair. Um, yeah, no, I wouldn't want to live in any CW series because the moment I thought I was going to be happy, there would be some pretty person going through a problem, and I already live in LA. So,
Mm.
um, so yeah, I mean that's the stuff I look at. But I try and get my Star Wars fans to see, dude, people can like the stuff that you like for different aspects. One perspective is not the only perspective that there is. Okay.
No,
Um,
that's all there is. Only one perspective ever. No, I'm
yeah.
kidding.
And as
I'm
far
just
as
kidding.
living on Tatooine, no. No, I've
You don't
lived
want
in
to
the
live in a
high
desert?
desert.
You don't want to live in a desert? Aw, well, I
Have
don't know
you
what to tell you. That's all we got is real estate in Tatooine.
you don't live in Victorville.
You're right. I don't, for good reason.
Yeah, because it's just like Tatooine. That's what I'm saying. Uh,
Hey, I've been out to Hemet and I've been out to Chino and I've been out to Hesperia. Those are all reminiscent of Tatooine. And after being out in what was it, Hesperia, I'm like, no, no, thank you, no, thank you, no, thank you.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. And you know what, Roland? I see you. And I'm not going to say the phrase, but I am going to say, you know what's up. Again, I wasn't deployed, therefore I can still go to Burning Man and not have bad flashbacks. But yeah, nice places to visit. I want to live on Tatooine. Thank you. But yeah, I mean that's just the thing. So, and again, I enjoy all that stuff. And of course, let's be real, guys. And this is also going to a lot of you guys that are out there as well. None of us want to live in the 40K universe. It is horrible. um,
Thank
but
you.
huh?
Is there any part of the 40K universe that isn't, being ravaged or pillaged or being?
Yeah, the Tau
I just want to
Empire.
know.
Yeah, the Tau Empire. But to live there, you have to be re-educated so that you can completely understand that all of your actions, including giving birth, is to serve the greater good. so, so yeah.
So then, they don't serve the God Emperor.
No, no, they serve the greater good. Greater
They
good.
serve the greater good.
The greater good. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, and that is the closest play. That and one of the pleasure worlds, maybe. But you know what? Ryza exists in Star Trek, so I'm like, hey, I'll go to the place where I can just do art and podcasts for the rest of my life and never have to worry about paying the mortgage or paying the electricity bill or keeping the internet on. And then I can hop on a plane and go to Ryza, which is like Burning Man, except a lot cleaner and not full of people who think they're spiritually enlightened. So yeah. Um, so yeah, I mean that's where I'm at. But I mean, a lot of people do the thing. Um, so yeah, I mean, really, it's a big thing. But again, when it comes to enjoying things, it's good to enjoy things. Enjoying things is something that we should do and we should share. Okay, but more to the point, something that we should not be made to feel ashamed of. And when I say that, I mean there are people that are going to try and shame you. But unless you're part of the North American, yeah,
I'm
unless you're
laughing at
part,
Roland.
of the North American Society of Marlon Brando lookalikes, you don't have anything to be ashamed of for the things that you like. Okay? Um, I mean, seriously, that would literally be it. Yes, there is a risk of Worf showing up as a great big buzzkill. He would be a warrior's buzzkill.
It
um,
is a good day to die.
and it is a good day to buzzkill something on Ryza. you know, I mean, really. But yeah. So seriously, you know, have your joy, share your joy. I mean, really, it is a really big thing. Um, I don't believe in guilty pleasures. Really don't. Um, if you play guitar and you like warming up to "Hit Me Baby One More Time" from Britney Spears, go for it. Um, I mean, seriously, he's absolutely right. Yeah, Worf is a buzzkill because he's Russian, and the Russians and the
Mm.
Prussians, they just don't have any joy. Everything is sidious, and it must be precise. Much like the overwhelming stench of death that looms upon all of existence. um, except for prune juice, for it is the drink of the warrior. Um,
Hey, don't knock the prune juice.
hmm?
I said, don't knock the prune juice. Prune juice helped me when I was, doing things.
Call of Fortnite is like, don't you have at least one guilty pleasure? No, I feel guilty for nothing that I enjoy.
And that's the
Absolutely
point.
nothing. You know,
That's the point. You're not supposed to feel guilty for things that you enjoy. Why feel guilty? The guilt just makes you feel like you're somebody to blame or somebody who is in the wrong. And you're not. You're not in the wrong at all. Just enjoy what you like enjoying.
I
That's it.
mean, I mean, real talk, guys. Real talk. There are things that I'm ashamed of, and I do become ashamed of some actions that I do, and I apologize for them, and I do my best to fix the situations that my behavior breaks. Okay. Um, and yeah, I feel weird that I enjoy certain music. I get that. I definitely get that, Roland. But I will tell you, I live in the place that invented gangster rap. This is where I grew up, and I'm fine. Like when I was a kid, I was put on restriction, sent to my room after having my hide tanned by my mom. And my neighbors were having a quinceanera next door, and it is a miracle. I say a miracle because I would have lost my mind if I didn't already like mariachi music because they had a full band right outside of my bedroom window. We're talking the horns. Yeah, seriously, we're talking the we're talking the horns, the 3/4 time that is reminiscent of polka, which I almost like because I've been on Weird Al's ticket since the beginning. And if I didn't enjoy that stuff, I literally would have gone mad. I would have gone out of my room going, "There are four lights." That's what I would have been doing. Uh,
Star Trek reference.
yeah, but the fact is, the more things in life that we find ways to enjoy and that we can wholeheartedly, unabashedly enjoy the thing, the more rich and fulfilled our lives would be. Oh, I see. You're just trying to you're just trying. You're poking fun at me now, huh, Roland? Oh, you're liking mid '90s East Coast hip hop, knowing I'm in LA. You're trying to start a beef, but guess what? Biggie's the man. Puffy was even all right. All right, I'm cool. Everybody called him the king. Big Papa was the only thing that I think anyone should be ashamed of liking is Suge Knight. So hey, take that. so yeah, because Suge Knight does harm to everything and everyone. uh, so yeah, I mean, seriously. And I find that the more that I enjoy in life, and this is real talk, a lot of crystal wave and patchouli stinking hippies will tell you to live your life enjoying gratitude and all that stuff. But um finding a way to do that does reduce stress. It enhances enjoyment and it makes you more friends. A really good friend of mine was telling me that I'm a hard person to be around when I'm stressed out. And I'm like, but I'm an extrovert that wants friends. Um,
You're an
and
extrovert?
so, huh?
You're an extrovert? I would have thought you would have been an ambivert.
An ambivert?
Mm-hmm. Where it's like
I need you to
you're
teach me
both.
something because that is a fun word. Ambivert. Ambivert. Ambivert.
An ambivert is someone who is both an extrovert and an invert. Put them together, you got an ambivert.
I am not in any way introverted. I'm shy when I have a crush on a girl, but that is only because I have a long history of being turned down for being weird. And I'm like, is this gonna happen again? I don't know if I have the spoons for this. But yeah, no, I mean I perform when I'm alone at home. I'm literally running through my house, lip syncing or singing with a guitar, or going through the choreography from Princess Bride with the sword fight between Inigo and Wesley. Like I am that guy. Yeah. I mean, yeah, seriously. Um, but yeah, I mean that really is the thing. So the more I get, yeah, yeah, what you being
Oh,
attacked by bees or
hi.
something?
No, no, I'm not supposed to be smoking in the house. That's automatic. You are no longer here. Notice. Get out of my house.
Especially after your mama be like, "Girl, didn't I tell you not to?" You're like, Mom,
Yeah,
I'm in
that's
my 30s.
automatic.
You ain't too big for a beating. Didn't I tell you not to vape in the house? You I am so
So the
glad
whole
you got me
time,
on headphones because I would be giving you in so much trouble.
yeah. Shoot, I'm hoping I didn't rat myself out.
You're like, oh, yeah, I don't. All right, guys. So, yeah, I got her on the thing, and just all I saw was, and I'm like, what? You got something to say? Like, what? You drowning at sea?
No,
What's going on? No, no,
no.
no.
I'm trying not to get in trouble. Oh man, because as soon as you hear, "Hey Johnson, what are you doing?" I'm in trouble. And it's like,
Oh
I gotta
man.
go, guys.
But yeah, I mean, like real talk, that's a real thing, because I use Bonetti, unless the people you're talking to have studied their Agrippa, which I have, but yeah, I mean, it's really one of those things. But like, even like in stuff like The Princess Bride, right? How can I put this? Carrie Elwes had my favorite outfit. Okay, because I've been a Zorro fan since I could walk, but he scares me in that movie because he doesn't blink. Everything he does is like super intense. So it's like, "Fun boy, fetch me this pail." As you
I
wish.
don't think
I'm like,
I don't think I remember him smiling in Saw either.
yeah, he
I
does.
mean,
Yeah,
blinking in Saw.
yeah. I mean, yeah, he just doesn't blink, and I'm like, okay, I thought this was supposed to be a love story, but I'm literally like waiting for him to be like, "That's right, that's right, little Buttercup." And all you had to do with every person that came to you courting, asking about your phone boy, was to fly, fly, fly far away, fly all the way to the FP. That's what I saw him with, and the real talk. Yeah, that's right. We back to the blinking thing. Carrie Elwes's eyes
Eyelids
are
are
prosthetic.
prosthetics.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean the real talk on that. I always loved Inigo Montoya. That was my big thing. DW and I talked about that, and I'm just like, dude, this guy is awesome. Like, if I could have been Inigo and hung out with Vicini all day, that was a really big thing. But most of my friends were like, "No, man, Wesley was the good one. He could do all the fighting and he could do all the things." And I'm like, "Yeah, but he didn't seem fun to hang out with." you know. Like, but again, also, I was a slobbering drunk by the time I was 10 years old, so a lot of my friends had to pick me up and dunk my head in cold water and hot water and cold water, and I'm like, enough! Enough! Where's my math book now so I may do my homework? That was rough. So, yeah. Okay, you guys are killing me in the chat. Uh, so yeah, yeah, and again, I really do unashamedly love everything I love, from puppets to toys to making kids smile to acting like I'm in movies, playing different roles every time. I mean, but understand, I literally used to stand in the middle of Hollywood Boulevard in front of the Man Chinese Theater screaming at the top of my lungs, if you don't eat your meat, you can't have any pudding. And I'm serious. And the coolest people would run by going, if you don't, if you don't, I'd be like, if you don't eat your meat, you can't have any pudding. And somebody would run by, how can you have any pudding if you don't eat your meat? And I'd be like, and yeah, I mean, and see, again, those are the moments I live for. Is it weird? Yeah. But you know what? Yes, I'm not another brick in the wall. Oh no, I'm not another brick
Are
in the
you the
wall.
wall?
Hmm?
Are you the wall?
No, I just need a dirty woman. No, no, I'm the kid
Ew.
that threw the first Molotov cocktail in the video. I'm the one that did the rage quit because I wasn't going in the meat grinder. You know, now that was the whole thing. So yeah, I mean, I like out of this world. Out of this world call. Did you? I like out of this world. I don't have any idea what you're saying. Um, you know, but yeah. So, quite literally, a really funny thing about enjoying things and having joy in life. Some people will call you weird. Some people will call you odd. And um, excuse me. Pull the race card. The people who do that and who mean it are just like people who I see flying the Confederate flag. It is a
Oh my
badge.
god.
Yeah, it is a badge of who to stay away from.
Ugh.
And I appreciate
Ugh.
that. I really do. It's like, oh man, you weird. You're all this. I'm like, yep. Little surprises around every corner, but nothing dangerous. But I can't say that about you. Good day. You know?
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, well, I was just saying, I said good day, sir. But, uh, honestly, um, I don't know if Generation X did show people that it was okay to enjoy stuff. I know we were the first generation to be open about how bad we felt. We invented entire genres of music based off of our
Like emo?
no. That was millennials
I
that
thought.
really I mean that brought emo up. No. We
Okay,
gave
well,
you
I thought
grunge.
emo.
No, we gave
Okay,
you
okay,
grunge.
yeah.
We invented
We
the
did have
entire
grunge.
genre of music that was based on stomach cramps and not liking our parents. You know. And if you don't believe me, the next time you're in the bathroom because you got the bubble gut, you can literally be like, "Oh, I need an easy friend. I do. I do."
Oh my god.
you know?
You
Yeah.
stop, Soul. You're gonna make a new hit record.
No, I was literally just singing Nirvana. It was like, I mean, yeah, all of our music was based on the pain and suffering that we got tired of hiding because our older brothers and sisters took up all the fun with their Aquanet big hair and requests to have sugar poured on them. And, you know, so while they were living on a prayer, we had a depressed goat doing an Elvis impression, talking about how his mom was still alive. Oh, I'm still alive. you know, and so yeah, I mean, oh yeah, honestly, the first album I ever bought was Phantom of the Opera, full original London cast. So yeah, that was the whole thing.
Oh, Andrew
Generation,
Lloyd Webber?
huh? Yes, that's
Nice.
right.
Good
A
taste.
black dude
Got
in the
good taste.
hood buying musicals. you know. Yeah, and again, like matter of fact. So yeah, so to answer your question, Call of Fortnite. No, I unabashedly like everything that I like. And and I have absolutely no shame. In fact, um just to prove it, and I mean this, I'm gonna prove this real hard to y'all right now. I'm really I'm gonna prove this to you. You know. Oh well, thank you, man. Like I said, just think of a sad goat doing an impression of Elvis, and you got it. You know, you got Eddie Vedder like that. Seriously, because
You know,
hmm?
I like the things I like too, and I'm not ashamed to admit that I will get down on some chitlins. I don't care if they smell like shit.
You know,
I got down on some menudo.
honestly, that's a funny thing when it comes to eating stuff. And this is also a weird thing. Like a lot of my friends don't quite understand how I find so few things disgusting. I'm like, it's there, but that's just a me thing. Um, but yeah, when it comes down to oh, wooed your first girlfriend, with songs from Phantom. It's actually funny because I got together with my last girlfriend based on our love of Phantom, which
Oh,
should have kind of been a sign, I guess. Oh, it's like wow, yeah, I mean it really is a thing. But I'm looking for something to show you guys the amount of nerdiness, and I mean like serious nerddom. Oh, I have so much. My skin is too dark to be wearing as much red as I got. Okay, yeah, there we are. There we are. Like real talk. No, wait, that's it. Nope, not that one. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, again, I literally made this outfit because I wanted to. There we go. That was me, needle, thread, all that stuff at a Halloween party playing Rock Band. Um, and here's the thing, it just happened to have been Halloween. I made that outfit in March because I could. So, yeah, I mean, the real talk is love the stuff you love, enjoy the stuff that you enjoy. You don't have to proselytize, right? You don't have to proselytize. You don't have to force people to like what you like. Appreciate the joy they get out of stuff and share your joy and be open and be open to them sharing their joy with you. Because as the book readers said so distinctly, and like I said, Roland, you definitely gained some clout with me. Um, joy shared is multiplied. There we go. There we go. All right. Sorry, I found the better picture of when I had just finished the outfit. So yeah, there it is. Boom. Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, I was good
You
when
did
I
a
was
great
doing
job on
cosplay.
that.
Thank you. it, the embroidery itself took me forever. And do not, and I mean this, do not ask me where that outfit is. I could not tell you. I don't know.
Damn
I
it. That was
lost it
going to
somewhere.
be my next question.
Yeah,
Do you
no,
still
but
have it?
I'll make another one. I was thinking the next one I was gonna do in Hanukkah colors. Blue is my favorite color, so there is that.
What about Kwanzaa? What
Hmm?
about Kwanzaa, my nigga? No, I'm kidding. No, you said you're going to make one.
Language. Um, but yeah, yeah. Honestly, I don't like. I said Hanukkah colors because I like blue and silver. Not
Oh,
to love
okay.
Hanukkah. I just like blue and silver. Okay. Um,
Blue and silver is pretty cool together.
yeah, exactly. Yes, the El Mariachi version production of Phantom of the Opera, and I had a bazooka in my base case. All right, all right. So, so yeah, um, so yeah. I mean, the real talk. So enjoy what you do, love what you do. That's why you're here. You love being a nerd. You love being a nerd as much as Michelangelo loves being a turtle. So own that and help other people own that. You know, that's the way we get through the darkness of the world that we're in. You know, that is the way that we get through the darkness that we're in. Because if we don't take the time and do the if we're ashamed of the joy that we have, real talk, and this is not me being that guy at a motivational speaker thing. No, no, no. If you feel bad for liking things, what are you working for? I mean, real talk. Life is supposed to be more, or life is actually about a lot more than just providing for your family, eating something beige, and then going to sleep and working jobs that you hate to do the whole thing over again. Buy your toys. Pass your love of your toys down to your kids. Play the games. Share the joy from your comics, singing, and your love of 90s music that had happy beats and incredibly dark lyricism. Like I said, I'm a fan of They Might Be Giants and the Police. Um, Even your love of emo music. You know why? Because it doesn't matter what I'm going to do is try and make the world a better place for as many people as I can, and I know you guys can do that. So, do you guys have do you have anything to add to that, Heather?
Just, if somebody is trying to take you down a peg because you like playing with miniatures or playing with anything that's, considered childish, um, you don't have to pay them any mind. They're not paying your bills, they're not paying for your toys, and they certainly aren't going to be someone who you would spend a lot of time with because they're harping on something you like. Leave them in the dust. I mean, if you can get them to come to your side of the table, hey, that's great. But if you can't, forget about them. They're inconsequential people in the end. They're not gonna decide if you decide to eat or if you wear clothes. They're not. Those people are just naysayers, haters, sipping on the haterade too much. So if you have someone who continuously harps on you, just be like, you know what? Like Solar said, hey, why don't you just give it a try? You might like it. And more often than not, folks find that they do like it. Those who try it, my old GM used to say, there's there in my gaming table that everybody there's a button and no one wants to push it, and I say I'd push the button, and that's what
I
made the
push the
difference between me
button.
and them. Yep, push the button. Don't be
Elevator
afraid.
go
Push the
down the
button.
hole. Yeah, yeah,
Water
and
go down.
yeah, and thank you for that. I mean, seriously. And one of my rules for living was always giving everything I thought about three tries. Tries. Okay. Um the first time is to go, what is this? Just, what is this? I don't know what it is. The second time was to double confirm. And if I enjoyed it by the third time, I'm like, all right, I'll give this a shot. I will. Um, but the fact of the matter is, it's easy to live in this place where we've predetermined that something is bad, especially because of past trauma. Past trauma or other people telling us stuff. But no, guys, each one of you, to my knowledge, are human beings, except for that cat. You're fine. Just go do whatever it is you're gonna do, because that's what you're gonna do anyway. Um, but all of you human beings out there watching means that you guys can learn and you grow. And humans, believe it or not, are, were, and will always be shape changers. They're always, we go up and down in weight, shed cells, our taste buds change, our perspectives change. We are constantly morphing into something new. And there is so much joy that can be found, indeed, in a lot of places that we didn't have them before. There were a lot of before we get out of here, I'm gonna pull up one of my favorite album covers. And I mean this. This is one of my favorite album covers for one of my favorite albums. For those of you guys that aren't Generation X, albums used to be these big black pieces of plastic and wax that held music. Uh, but yeah, God, I am being such a jerk to people. Um, and I hated this album cover. Hated it. And I mean, when I say I hated it, I mean my family used to chase me around the house with it. And sure enough, I would be crying, you know. I mean, seriously, like you could pick up a dead bird, right? And be like, like the old Eddie Murphy joke, dead bird, I'm gonna put it on you. And I'd be like, stop, go away, go away. And the real fact behind it was yeah, I hated this. It is now one of my favorite albums. And real talk, black and white now in color, I don't know. I really don't know. But yeah, now this is actually one of my favorite pieces of art. It's not very high resolution, but yeah, this. I love this piece of art. I love the Funkadelic skull. On the stomach, it actually has the name of the album called "Let's Take It to the Stage," and it's an artistic rendition of Linda Blair from The Exorcist, and we've got the band that looks like something that happens when you eat way too many poisonous mushrooms and then accidentally see a picture from Fat Albert while watching Return of the Jedi and you see the band in Jabba's palace. I mean, there are so many cool things about this piece of art. And when I was a kid, I hated this piece of art. Oh my God. I hated it. I'm like, oh my God. I hated that piece of art. I'm like, oh my God, no, get it away from me. It's all that and all that stuff. And I'm just like, yeah, I despised it. I couldn't stand it. And now I love it. I see it for so many things. Boo! No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I hated everything about it, but boo! There you go. Yeah, that's right. I'm scaring all you guys with that piece of art. Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Wow,
seriously.
funkadelic, huh?
Oh yeah, yeah, and it was actually funny because yeah, growing up, it was one of my mom's favorite records, and she listened to it all the time, and I hated it except for the song "Let's Take It to the Stage," because there was so much about it that I didn't know. Like there was a song on that album, and I thought it was saying, "If you've been decapitated, you don't get a backstage pass." And I'm like, but as an adult, I know exactly what they meant. And I'm just like, oh, especially after I've been in so many bands and been on tour and stuff. I'm like, oh, look at that. That's what they mean. But yeah, and at the same time, I didn't know what THC was. So when he's like, Little Miss Muffet sat on her tuffet, I'm like, what? Huh? But again, I love that album now because times have changed. I've gotten more life experience. I've learned a few more. So periodically, I take a lot of things that I hated as a kid and I re-examine them because they might bring me joy now. Right, guys? So I want to thank you guys for showing up. This has been a really long show. Oh yeah. Yeah, Man of La Mancha. I hated Man of La Mancha, the musical, and then I read Don Quixote and I'm like, oh my God, I get it. Oh my God, I am him. So yeah, which means I need a little guy on a donkey following me around going, are you sure this is a good idea? Yes, it's a good idea. But yeah. And so did I always enjoy D&D as a game? No, I did not. I did not. I did not because I started playing in the days of Thaco. And if you know, you know, because I don't think anybody enjoyed Thaco.
Wait, Fago or Fago?
Thaco. 2-hit armor class 0. It was the old mechanic that was determined.
Oh, Thaco.
Yes, Thaco. That was wacko. I mean, seriously, we hated it. Did someone say Fago? No, we said Fuego. No,
I was gonna say, where are you hiding the Fago, Solar? I'm coming over right now.
You can't drive. But if you had the money to pay an Uber, then I say, give it to me. I need to put it in the truck. Yeah. Yeah, so, but it's a thing. But thank you for showing up today, Heather. This has been really good, especially since this is going to be the only show I'm able to do.
I'm so sorry, but you have to stay employed because your car or your truck rather needs to be fed. And speaking of fed, I need to be fed myself. But yeah, it's been great. I had a great time on the show today, and I hope everyone who was watching or has been watching enjoyed the show today. And you can catch me on Gaming Fix live on Wednesdays as well at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'll post a link somewhere, probably on my page, to that Twitch channel that we have for Gaming Fix Live. But yeah, join us at 11 a.m. and we'll discuss things gaming, video games included. And yeah, we would love to see some of you guys in there.
That would be super, super awesome. And of course, guys, you guys can hit me up in a lot of different places. All right. But before I do all that, I want to give major thanks to Alisadra, all up. Thank you, all up. Anomalous Daniel, Black and White Now in Color, Call of Fortnite, Card Thulu, Commander Rude, Draft Snatch, Grey Ghost 82, Hannibal King, The First, Lisa Bell, Jenna Ren, Janai, Jub Font, Tata, La Kaylee, Lucent Crown, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 0, Mix Muzalad, Roland, HG, Roland, you're seriously coming through. Neon Arlecchino, thank you for coming through. Shanwala, Xanathage, I always love having you on the show, Xanathage. Crossfire 4, and if you guys want to be part of all of this stuff, feel free to subscribe right here with your Amazon Prime account. It won't cost you a dime. You won't be getting that notification that says, hi, we just took $5 out of your bank account for this Twitch channel. No. If you do that on Amazon, it's wrapped right into your Amazon payment. It doesn't cost anything there, and it really helps us stay open and all that stuff. And of course, you can hit me up at backinthedeck@gmail.com. It's BACKINTHEDECK @gmail.com. You can also reach out to me over on Twitter, also at Back in the Deck, Instagram, Back in the Deck, TikTok at BidP, that's BIDBY. And again, that wretched hive of scum and villainy known as Facebook. Deckers on the book. Give us a shot before following that one link that'll lead you to the real reason that ExxonMobil goes broke. It's because of wokeness and all that stuff. No, let that go. Let it go. Coming over the Deckers on the book. Talk about games and board games and painting your miniatures and your D&D game and that one character that you had that one time that you tell everybody about. We actually want to hear about it. So do all of that. And of course, to answer the final question today, very simple. The next show will be Monday because, to my knowledge, that is my next day away from the bunny suit. And I can't guarantee because they keep changing the schedule and stuff on me. But I'm gonna try to have the next show Monday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If I don't get called to one of the mini malls, because there are children out there that need to believe in the magic of bunnies so that they can believe the larger lies when they grow up, like justice, mercy, fairness, and responsibility. So with that, I'm gonna say, if anybody tells you that you can't like what you like because of the circumstances of your birth, be it race, religion, creed, gender identity, sexual orientation, disabilities, neurodivergencies, or your budget, because we all know that the trailer park is never too far from the hood, you can tell them to take any of those cards and put them back in the deck. I am Solar Gray, the Cinematic Sorcerer, saying thank you for joining me, and we will see you next time on the dark side of the room.
Bye, everyone.